Right, here we're going to do percents, these maintenance mastery questions, 10 to 12 and 14. A percent is a number always out of 100. So that's the key thing, make sure that it's always out of 100. So to make a number, or a fraction or a decimal into a percent, you always multiply by 100. It's a key thing to do, always multiply by 100. Now 10% is the key. 10% is 1/10. So if we are to find 10% of 80, that's going to be 8. 10% of 200 is going to be 20. You just shift the decimal point back one. 10% of 15, 1.5. 2.6, 0.026. Sorry, 0.26. Let's change that. 0.26. This one here, move the decimal point back one. 850.1. And again, move the decimal point back one. 0.0007. So that's finding 10%. If you can find 10% of a number, you can find 20% by doubling it. So you find the 10% and you double it. And 30%, you treble the 10%. So just times it by 3. 5%, you would halve the 10%. And for 15, you would find 10% and 5% together. Add them together, you'll get 15%. If you're asked to find 25%, that's just a quarter of the number. So let's do a few examples. 30% of 40. First of all, I'm going to find 10% of 40. I know that 10% is 4. If I want 30%, I've got 10, 20, 30%. I need 3 lots of 4. 4, 4, 4. That's going to give me 12. I could have just gone 3 times 4 is 12. So 30% of 40 is 12. 10% first, then 30. Here we want to find 15% of 8. Well, I'm going to find 10% of 8. That is 0.8. 5% is half of that. That's 0.4. So 15%, I would add those two together, 1.2. So 15% of 8 equals 1.2. If your answer is to be a percent, then you always multiply by 100. Before we were working on 10%, but if your answer is going to be a percent, that's the key. If the answer is going to be a percent, always multiply by 100. So make 8 out of 10 a percent. So you go 8 divided by 10 times 100. That will give you 80%. Make 0.7 a percent. It's 0.7 times 100, which equals 70%. If you are asked to add 20% to a number, find 10% first. So 10% of 220 is going to be $22. 20% of 220 is going to be another 22. That's $44. That is what you add to the 220, because we've got 10 and 10 is 20%. So 220 plus 44 equals $264. So there's a quick lesson on percent. Remember, percent is out of 100.